Fox Sports welcomes you to Landover, Maryland, just outside the nation's capital. First place on the line as the Washington Redskins host the New York Giants. These teams tied with the Dallas Cowboys atop the NFC East. As we welcome you to Fox NFL Sunday, Kenny Albert along with Tim Green. Redskins ranked second offensively in the NFL. They scored 50 points 9 weeks ago in their game against the Giants. Giants say it will not happen today.
Well, the pride of the Giants team is in their defense, and they were embarrassed by what happened in game one. They want to stop the Redskins. Most specifically, they want to stop the Redskins running back, Stephen Davis. Now, Jesse Armstead, the Giants Pro Bowl linebacker, guaranteed us last night that Davis will not run for 100 yards. He ran for 126 in their first meeting. Now, that means that the Giants are committed to outmanning the Redskins on the line of scrimmage, and anytime you do that, it puts a lot of stress on your cornerbacks. The cornerbacks are going to be tested today because the Redskins quarterback, Brad Johnson, has one of the best deep passes in the league, and he also has two receivers who have big play capabilities, in Albert Connell and Michael Westbrook, who plays today with a broken wrist. But I said capabilities. These guys need to take capability and turn it into big plays.
Connell and Westbrook tied for the team lead, 40 receptions apiece. Now, on the other side of the ball, Giants have struggled this season offensively, but in the second half of their game against the Colts last week, they found some new life.
Well, the Colts defense was a little softer then, and the Giants started to spread things out. They went to their no huddle. They're going to do that today, but they're going to do other things as well. It won't be that exclusively. Their main intent is to get the ball into the hands of Tiki Barber in the running game and run the cutback. That attacks the Redskins linebackers. And then in the passing game, they want to attack the linebackers as well. They want to attack the middle of the field in the passing game. That means you're going to see a lot of the Giants tight end, Pete Mitchell, who's an undersized guy, but he's got a great feel for the game. And in the last two games of the Giants, he has been their leading receiver.
Well, the Giants looking for revenge today. They lost to the Redskins 50-21 in September.
Get home, man. Win on three. 1, 2, 3, win.
Welcome back to the newly named FedEx Field, the former Jack Kent Cooke Stadium and the former Redskins Stadium. The official announcement came earlier today. FedEx Field in Landover, Maryland. Jim Fossil in his third season as Giants head coach. Giants with a record of 5-4. They have won 3 of their last 4 games. On the other side, Norv Turner in his 6th season as Redskins head coach. Redskins have dropped 2 in a row. They, like the Giants, are 5-4. Today's game is available in Spanish by utilizing the SAP button on your television. The 251st consecutive sellout at a Redskins home game. Giants have won the toss. Brett Conway gets things started. And David Patton watches it roll into the end zone for a touchback. So the Giants will start 1st and 10 from their own 20-yard line. Quarterback Kent Graham has never started more than 8 games in a National Football League season. This is Graham's 9th start this year. A record of 5-3 as a starter. The rookie Mike Rosenthal makes his first start at left guard, replacing his college teammate Luke Pettigrew. LaShawn Johnson, Charles Way in the backfield. Amani Toomer, Ike Hilliard are the wideouts. And the Giants start with 3 wide receivers. Ike Hilliard in motion. From the 20, Charles Way takes the handoff from Kent Graham and is bottled up. Sean Barber, number 59, made the stop. No gain on the play for Charles Way. Redskins ranked last, 31st in the NFL defensively. Anthony Cook starting at left end, replacing Kennard Lang. Barber, who made the tackle with Smith and Jones. And the Redskins secondary, Darrell Green in his 17th year with the rookie Champ Bailey on the corners. 2 tight ends, penalty markers on 2nd and 10. Phil Carollo, our referee in his 11th NFL season.
Prior to the snap, false start, 65, offense, 5-yard penalty, 2nd down.
Ron Stone, the Giants' right guard, and really their most consistent, strongest, toughest lineman on their offense. Boy, just a little bit of a rock there.
So this pushes the Giants back 5 yards. 2nd and 15 from the 15. Graham with time, and the pass is caught by the tight end Pete Mitchell for a gain of 7. Mitchell, the Giants' leading receiver the last 2 weeks. Greg Jones made the tackle after a gain of 7.
Just as we said a minute ago, Pete Mitchell is the guy that's going to see the ball a lot today. The Giants felt offensively that they could attack the Redskins linebackers.
Mitchell, the former Jacksonville Jaguars, signed as a free agent during the offseason. 4 wide receivers set. Graham from the shotgun, 3rd and 8 on the opening series of the game. Graham steps up and is taken down.
Dana Stubblefield. He's been in a battle of words with Michael Strahan all week long. He's going against the Giants' best offensive lineman. Here he is right here. He loops around. He blasts Stone right up under the chin and sacks Kent Graham. That's as good as it gets.
Only the 2nd sack this season for Stubblefield, who had 15 2 years ago. Brad Maynard punting from his own 10-yard line. Brian Mitchell calls for the fair catch at the 38. 43-yard punt by Maynard. The Redskins' 31st ranked defense does their job on the opening series. Now it's Brad Johnson's turn, leading out the 2nd-ranked offense in the National Football League. Johnson coming over in the trade from the Vikings after 7 seasons in Minnesota. His 17 touchdown passes trail only the Rams' Kurt Warner. One of the matchups we will watch, the rookie right tackle Jansen against Michael Strahan of the Giants. Stephen Davis leading the NFL in touchdowns. Westbrook and Connell. And the tight end is Steven Alexander. Redskins start from their own 38-yard line. Good field position. This is Davis, who scored 3 first-quarter touchdowns in the last game against the Giants. Davis picks up 4. Jesse Armstead, Corey Widmer combined on the stop. Giants rank 8th defensively. Jones, Hamilton, Peter, and Strahan, who's gone to the last 2 Pro Bowls, as has his teammate Jesse Armstead. Corey Widmer, Ryan Phillips, the other linebackers, Sehorn and Sparks, the corners, and Percy Ellsworth returns after missing 2 games. And again, Davis is brought down by the combination of Armstead and Widmer after a gain of just 1 yard, so it will be 3rd and 5.
Well, Jesse Armstead guaranteed us they were going to limit Stephen Davis, and he's integral here. Watch him come up into the line and then bounce outside, the outside of the formation. Armstead has the quickness to fill up inside, still bounce outside, and make a play on the perimeter.
3 wide receivers for the Redskins. Irving Fryer in motion. Johnson to the air for the first time, and the pass is short, intended for the tight end Steven Alexander. And now the Redskins will punt.
Giants come with a massive blitz on this. They bring Percy Ellsworth up as a strong safety. You're going to see Ellsworth come here. The linebackers come. And it's Armstead who gets clean through on Brad Johnson. When this happens to you as a quarterback, you've got to get it to your hot route. Johnson had the right receiver, just not enough time to get it off.
Matt Turk's punt. Tiki Barber, fair catch. And some extracurricular activity. Emmanuel McDaniel involved for the Giants. Curtis Buckley made the tackle after the 39-yard punt. Welcome back to Landover, Maryland. Giants and Redskins scoreless early first quarter. Both teams punting on their first possessions.
The Hogs went suburban. I think
yes.
They were in D.C. Now they're suburban, and there's a new Hog, Dana Stubblefield. I said earlier, a lot of battle of words between he and Michael Strahan through the week. He said John Jansen took care of Strahan game 1.
Second sack of the game for the Redskins. It's the strong safety, Sam Shade. And Kent Graham is slowed in getting up.
Well, Sam Shade comes untouched because Big Daddy Wilkinson uses up the blocks. Watch Wilkinson use the blockers, and Shade comes untouched here, right up the middle of the Giants formation, and slams Kent Graham. Redskins defense has been under a lot of criticism. Mike Nolan told me before the game, I'm going to turn things loose and blitz them and put this game in the players' hands.
LaShawn Johnson on 2nd and 17. Gains 2 yards. Derek Smith made the tackle, setting up 3rd and long for the Giants.
You know, this Redskins defense, Kenny, we saw them a couple of weeks ago against the Chicago Bears, and they played incredibly well. Now, at the end of the game, the Bears had gained over 300 yards, but they had a 45-0 lead, the Redskins. So Mike Nolan's crew made the big plays at the times when they had to, but statistically, it didn't help them any. They need that kind of game today. Make the big plays in critical situations.
3rd and 15. Graham fires, and the pass is dropped. Joe Juravicius, double coverage on the play from Le'Veon Evans and Matt Stevens, and Juravicius could not hang on to it.
The Redskins bring the heat, and the Giants' offensive line does a nice job of picking up the inside stunts and giving Kent Graham the pocket that he needs. He has the time, and he delivers the pass, but Champ Bailey's coverage is just too good.
Maynard again punting from deep in his own territory. And Brian Mitchell from the 45 met immediately by Scott Gallion. No return following the 41-yard punt. Good special teams work by Gallion. 3 3-and-out series so far. Redskins back to the offense. Michael Westbrook broke his right wrist in the game last week.
Interestingly, the Giants are choosing to cover him with Felipe Sparks, who is not as big and physical as Jason Sehorn. Westbrook, the biggest receiver for the Redskins.
Sehorn matched up with Albert Connell. Johnson dumps it off under pressure, and Stephen Davis is forced out of bounds in Giants territory by Armstead, a gain of 6.
The Giants do a nice job on this, getting immediate pressure, and it's Keith Hamilton who comes right up the center of the formation. And then Cedric Jones is there from the outside, maintains his rush lane. Watch Hamilton. He comes right over Brad Badger, and then Cedric Jones is there to give the high part of the high-low.
Johnson's first completion, 2nd and 4. Larry centers. First down and more to the Giants. 32, a gain of 17 yards for the former Arizona Cardinal.
You think he's excited? He talked to me right before the game. He said, this is going to be my day today. He wanted the ball more. He said he needed more opportunities, and today was going to be his day to make big plays when the ball was in his hands. And you can see it here, not just by the catch, but watch the second effort here by Larry Centers. He keeps his balance and picks up an extra 5 yards.
9 years in Arizona. 2-time Pro Bowler.
He started to wonder this week out loud in the newspapers whether he had made the right decision to come from Arizona to the Redskins because of the lack of balls he was getting.
Play clock winding down, and the Redskins did not call timeout. Johnson pulling back, chatting with the referee Carollo just a moment ago.
Timeout, Washington. That's the team's first charge timeout.
Well, somebody did call timeout on the near side. So the Redskins charged with their first timeout here in Landover. Following the timeout, Brad Johnson chatting with head coach Norv Turner. It will be 1st and 10 for the Redskins on the Giants' 33-yard line. Redskins had a huge day against the Giants in their 50-21 victory week 2. Just under 400 total yards, 28 first downs. They scored on their first 3 possessions of that game. They took a 21-0 lead. Davis. Stephen Davis close to another first down. Percy Ellsworth made the tackle.
This is the exact play that Howie Long talked about in the pregame. It's the counter O, and Trey Johnson is the key. Watch Johnson pull out and around. He's leading for Stephen Davis, and he gets out and he puts the block on Percy Ellsworth. The thing that makes Johnson so special is he's so big, but he gets out there and he has the athleticism to get his hands on the smaller, quicker guys.
He would fit right in with the Hogs.
Well, he's a hog is a offensive hog, offensive lineman. I call them all hogs. Anybody that's over 300 pounds qualifies. But you could see Johnson was a little upset with himself because when he gets out there, he doesn't want to just block those guys. He wants to maul them. We talk about Ron Stone and how he was the best offensive lineman for the Giants, and Trey Johnson is definitely the standout for the Redskins offensive line.
Trey in his 6th year out of Temple. They've allowed only 14 sacks all season.
Well, they've gotten a lot better this season than they were last. And right next to Johnson is John Jansen, who is a rookie, and he's the guy that limited Michael Strahan to no sacks in the first game.
2nd and 1. First down for the Redskins. Stephen Davis down to the Giants' 21-yard line.
And this is exactly where you want to run the football. When we just finished talking about Jansen and Johnson, and those guys are the strong ones, so when you're in the short yardage situation, that's right where you go.
Stephen adding to his totals, leading the NFL in first downs, leading the NFL in touchdowns with 14. He has 4 100-yard games this year. And the Redskins on the move. 1st and 10 from the Giants' 21. Johnson rolling right, penalty marker on the play as the catch is made by Centers. Chased down from behind by Cedric Jones. A gain of about 9.5, perhaps 10 yards on the play.
And you can see the excitement in Larry Centers.
It's a hold against the Giants.
That'll give them 5 yards and an automatic first down. Or they could take 2nd and inches. John Fox, the defensive coordinator for the Giants. No, it's a first down anyway.
Holding, 92, defense. That penalty is declined. Result of the play, first down.
Michael Strahan, the guilty party, but Centers did pick up the first down. So the Redskins, Tim, in the red zone in the first meeting against the Giants, 5 red zone trips, 5 touchdowns.
Well, Strahan was in a zone blitz, and so he's got the coverage there. So he starts to rush. He sees it's pass, and he grabs onto the tight end.
Westbrook in motion. Movement prior to the snap. More flags. Players from both teams pointing at the other side. This time it looks to be against the Redskins.
Full start, 45, offense, 5-yard penalty, first down.
That's Mike Sellers, and the reason why he's over there is to give John Jansen help here to create an obstacle for Michael Strahan. And when Strahan hits the quarterback, Brad Johnson throws the ball and hits Strahan right in the helmet. I can tell you that a ball in the helmet doesn't hurt.
Maybe it doesn't hurt you. Strahan did not look too pleased.
No, but it didn't hurt him. And then there's another scuffle out there. There's going to be a lot of scuffles because the Giants are keyed up. You could tell talking to him last night, talking to him today down in the field before the game. There's a lot of tension with the Giants, and both teams feel that the winner of this game is going to go on to bigger things and have a run at the end of the season. And the loser of this team, Strahan told us last night, he said the loser's going to get the label. It's going to either be, if the Giants lose, we're going to be labeled that, you know, it's the same old Giants that can't make it. If the Redskins do, it's going to be the Redskins that fade late in the season.
Johnson on 2nd and 7. Stephen Davis, and he's cut down. Nice tackle by Felipe Sparks.
One of the things the Giants felt they didn't do well in the first game was tackle. And that was a nice tackle by Felipe Sparks.
Another penalty marker. Busy first quarter for the officiating crew. Again, it's against Washington.
Unsportsmanlike conduct, number 83 on the offense, after the play but continuous action. Will go from the succeeding spot 15 yards, replay 2nd down.
Albert Connell, we said would be covered today mostly by Jason Sehorn. And there he gets up under Sehorn to block him. Well, maybe something happens after that.
So this pushes the Redskins back. It is now 2nd and 22. Off the play fake and the pump fake. Johnson to the end zone and a flag. Felipe Sparks with the coverage on Albert Connell. And a penalty marker came out. Another marker as well.
I think Christian Peters going to get a penalty for helmet-to-helmet contact with the quarterback.
So 2 penalty flags on the play. 1 in the end zone and 1 in the area of the quarterback.
Felipe Sparks, of course, got toasted last week by Marvin Harrison of the Colts.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, number 99, defense, that penalty is declined. Pass interference, number 22, on the defense. That penalty occurred in the end zone. The ball we placed at the 1-yard line. That penalty is accepted. 1st down.
Here's Felipe Sparks. He comes over the top of Albert Connell. And on that replay, I did not see the interference. But I certainly did see the roughing the passer by Christian Peter. He came right up the center and nailed Brad Johnson. Johnson, the big physical type of quarterback that can take that hit and still throw the ball downfield.
1st and goal from the 1. Stephen Davis is in. His league-leading 15th touchdown of the season. Are we at Lambeau Field or at FedEx Field? The FedEx lead. Fourth touchdown for Davis in the 2 games against the Giants. Brett Conway for the point after. Brad Johnson is the holder. 7-0 Redskins. 1-yard touchdown run. Stephen Davis, his 15th trip to the end zone this season.
Fox NFL Sunday is brought to you by Lexus and our relentless pursuit of perfection. By Dr. Pepper and your local Dr. Pepper bottler. Dr. Pepper, this is the taste. By Philips, technology that's making life better all the time. And by the U.S. Army, be a part of the toughest, smartest Army in the world. Be all you can be.
Brett Conway kicking off from his own 30-yard line. Bashir Livingston brings it out for the Giants. Livingston across the 30 to the 33. Champ Bailey made the tackle. A 35-yard return by Livingston.
Of course, the Redskins struggled last week against Philly. They had one return for a touchdown. Again, let's look at Trey Johnson, the big guy who moves so well in the block on Felipe Sparks. Then you say, well, that's nothing because he's so much bigger. But the thing is, when you're that big, it's hard to draw your target and hit that little guy. He hit him that time and blasted him out of the box and opened up the hole for Stephen Davis.
Johnson perfect on the drive. Giants start with their best field position of the game. They've gone 3 and out on their first 2 series. And LaShawn Johnson gains 3 yards on first down, setting up 2nd and 7.
And the Giants on that play went back to just a base offense. They went with a tight end and Charles Way at fullback and LaShawn Johnson at tailback, and they just ran a simple lead play, and it didn't work. Now, if you're ever going to get your run game going, this defense is the defense to do it against. The Redskins have struggled to stop the run all year.
Charles Way bottled up after a short gain. Way up to the 38-yard line, a gain of 2, so it will be 3rd down and 5. As you saw, the Dallas Cowboys took an early lead over the Arizona Cardinals in Tempe.
Big Daddy Wilkinson, who had us back spasms all week, and then miraculously has been able to play in this game. And modern medicine has some wonderful innovations that enable you to do that. But he's coming out into passing situations. Kennard Lang replaces him at defensive tackle.
3 wide receivers for the Giants. 3rd and 5. Graham down the sidelines looking for David Patton, who was tied up with Darrell Green. No flag there, but there is a flag back at the Giants 45.
Well, there's a hat down here. So,
which means Patton went out of bounds.
Yeah, but it also could be the use of a flag, because when you use your flag up, then you can use your hat as a flag also. So there may be 2 penalties, but I think they also may rule that pass was uncatchable.
Holding, number 21, defense. 5-yard penalty from the previous spot, first down. There's no pass interference on the play. The ball was uncatchable.
Yeah, so that was it.
Is picked up.
Mark McMillan, who is the cornerback who came from the 49ers, cut by the Niners, he comes in on nickel. He got called for holding, but there was a pass interference call, and that's what the official's hat was for. But then it was ruled uncatchable, so they picked that one up, but the other one stands. 5-yard penalty and a first down.
It's the first down of the game for the Giants, and it comes via penalty. Pete Mitchell in motion. Charles Way across the 45-yard line. Derek Smith made the stop after a gain of 3, so it will be 2nd and 7 for the Giants.
Well, one thing about Derek Smith, and we talked about how the Giants want to attack the Redskins linebackers, and they've struggled at times, but Derek Smith will always sell himself out. He will give up his body. Now, he's a young guy, and he's not the biggest middle linebacker. Here he is right here, but he will throw his body in there to make a tackle.
Second and 7. Graham swings it out, and it bounces off the chest of LaShawn Johnson. Derek Smith had the coverage.
You know, Kent Graham has had some nice numbers. He's completed about 60% of his passes. You know, you talked about he's 10-4 as a starter for the Giants. But Terry Bradshaw talked about it in the pregame show. He said if Kent Graham goes a couple 3-and-outs, you may see Kerry Collins, and you may, because Jim Fossil likes Kent Graham's numbers, but he wants him to get the ball into the end zone more. That is going to be the only thing by which Kent Graham is judged.
4-receiver formation. Graham under pressure, gets the pass away, has the first down. Ike Hilliard, his first catch of the game for a gain of 13 yards in Redskins territory.
Well, I told you Mike Nolan said that he was going to send guys and put it in the hands of the players. Sam Shade comes from the outside, blitzing the strong safety, and watch, he comes untouched against Kent Graham, and he just misses him. So there was less coverage downfield because Shade blitzed. And by the way, Shade has been the Redskins' most dependable defensive player, but you have to make those big plays when they're in your hand.
He's their leading tackler.
Flea flicker.
On the double reverse, Graham looking end zone for Amani Toomer. It's picked off by Darrell Green. Darrell Green, the 17-year veteran, brings it out off the trick play. It did not work. And a penalty marker is down back at the 37-yard line. Darrell Green intercepting Kent Graham's pass off the double reverse, the flea flicker.
Well, Leomont Evans really helps make this play as much as Darrell Green. We got to see when the penalty occurred.
Personal foul, low block on the return team, number 99. Will be half the distance to the goal. Timeout.
Anytime during a return, you're not allowed to block the other team below the waist. Here's the penalty. Going after Kent Graham. As a defensive end, that's what you're supposed to do. But a big turnover for the Redskins defense.
'49th career interception for Darrell Green. He is third among active players in the NFL, his second this season. And now the Redskins start from their own 8-yard line. Stephen Davis gains 2 yards out to the 10.
Well, Kenny, Jim Fossil thought that there was pass interference by the Redskins on that interception. And Sam Shade is right there tangled up with Amani Toomer. But if you look close, Toomer is getting just as physical with Shade as Shade is with Toomer. So I think that was a good call by the officials. And then the fact that Shade had such good coverage, that enabled Darrell Green to slip underneath both of them and get underneath that pass.
On 2nd and 8, Davis, penalty marker on the play. Jason Sehorn made the tackle. Another marker comes flying as Davis gains 11. It's against the Giants.
Offside, defense, number 75. That penalty is declined. Result of the play, first down.
Well, Keith Hamilton, watch him here. He gets a little offsides there, but the play is made by Stephen Davis by bouncing it to the outside. Starts it up in and then bounces it out.
From the 21, Davis gains 5 yards to the 26, and right now for an NFL update, let's return to James Brown in Los Angeles.
Kenny and Tim, Emmitt Smith picked up where he last left off before getting injured with 43 yards rushing on this series. Touchdown pass to David LaFleur, back from Jason Garrett. Cowboys on top by a touch. Kenny Albert and Tim Green.
Thank you, JB, the svelte JB. Jason Garrett, of course, everyone's talking about how he came back and filled in for Aikman and did such a great job last week against Green Bay, and that continues.
On 2nd and 5, Irving Fryer makes the catch, his first in the last 3 weeks, and the 796th of his NFL career, the 16-year veteran who retired last year and then came back.
Well, when Irving Fryer's on the field, it means the Redskins are in 3 wide receivers, and the Redskins thought that that would mean Jeremy Lincoln, who they attacked in game 1, but Emmanuel McDaniel right there, 26, is replacing Lincoln as the nickel cornerback.
Playing his first game with the Giants. 3rd and 4. Johnson has completed 6 in a row. And on this one, he was looking for Connell, who wanted a penalty flag, does not see one, and the Redskins will punt.
Connell looks like he's hurt a little bit. He breaks to the inside, and Jason Sehorn actually looked like he stepped on the back of his heel. Inadvertently, of course.
Tiki Barber back deep. The punt was nearly blocked. Oh, and Barber is run into by Darrell Pounds. Barber called for the fair catch, and then Darrell Pounds pulled him over.
They should challenge that because Pounds was blocked into Barber, and they're going to have to pick that flag up. And if they don't, then Norv Turner should challenge it.
First, the punt was nearly blocked by Dan Campbell.
There's no foul on the play. Number 80 was blocked into him. Will pick up the foul. Receiving team ball. First down.
And things happen so fast you may not have seen that. But here's Pounds right here, and then he gets blocked right there into Tiki Barber. So it's a nice job by the officials of amending the call. There it is.
Bashir Livingston.
Yep.
Pushed Pounds into Barber. So the Giants will start from their own 24-yard line. They went 3 and out in their first 2 series, and Graham was picked off on the Giants' last offensive possession. 3 wide receivers, 1st and 10 from the 24. Tiki Barber is hit for a loss by Marco Coleman, the former Charger.
You have to, I'm sorry, Kenny, go ahead. You have to give credit where credit is due, and this Redskins defense right now is answering the bell. Watch the play here. Watch Marco Coleman, defensive end. He gets into Oben. He plays off him, blows through him. Dana Stubblefield's there in the backfield. They're dominating the line of scrimmage, and that's how you stop the run.
Only 16 total yards for the Giants here in the first quarter. And this one is picked off. Second Giants turnover. Sam Shade with the interception after the deflection. His 2nd pick of the season.
Well, they were going to Pete Mitchell, the tight end, attacking the center of the field. Sam Shade made a beautiful interception. Watch the ball. Now, it's a slant play here. The ball's a little behind Mitchell. Watch it. A little bit behind Mitchell, but that's one Mitchell typically will make. And Sam Shade does a beautiful job of scooping that thing off the ground.
Graham had thrown only 7 interceptions in his first 8 games. He has been picked off twice in the first quarter. Shade with an interception and a sack today. Redskins start from the Giants' 32. Stephen Davis cuts it back inside and is tackled by Christian Peter after a pickup of 13 yards.
The Redskins offensive line and Stephen Davis are starting to take this game over. Jesse Armstead guaranteed no 100 yards. Watch Davis. He dips to the inside. He draws the linebackers, and he breaks it to the outside, and they are just punishing this Giants defense right now.
And Davis is just about halfway there. 49 yards in the first quarter on 9 carries with a touchdown. Redskins on the move. That will do it for the first quarter from Landover. Fox NFL Sunday continues after these messages and a word from your local Fox station. Kenny Albert with Tim Green. Tim, the Redskins defense playing like their offense.
Yeah, they really are. I mean, the Redskins defense was the weak part of the team. The Giants offense was their weak part. Well, the 2 little brothers in that battle, the Redskins are winning it. And in the big brother battle, the Redskins are winning that too.
Johnson's pass short, intended for Westbrook, who has not made a catch today, playing with that broken wrist.
Well, Johnson is 6 for 9, so he's doing all right. But I think the best part of the Redskins offense right now is what their offensive line is doing to the Giants front and what Stephen Davis is doing to the Giants front. Again, the Giants were determined to stop Stephen Davis, and so far they have not.
2nd and 10. The pitch back to Davis. Davis down the sidelines into the end zone. Penalty marker is down. A penalty flag on the play. A 19-yard run.
Yeah, it's going to.
But it will come back.
Going to come back because Albert Connell was holding Jason Sehorn. You know, it started out to be a really good job by Albert Connell. He had Sehorn blocked.
83, offense, 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. 2nd down.
He did not have to hold Sehorn. Watch it here. He comes up and he puts the block on Sehorn, and that's the only guy there. So he's got the block, and there's the hold right there. He grabs the jersey just a little bit. He didn't have to do that. Stephen Davis could have gotten into the end zone with just the simple block.
5th Redskins penalty of the game. On 2nd and long, Johnson under pressure dumps it off for Davis. He's tripped up by Jesse Armstead, but he was down. The ball popped loose, but Davis was ruled down.
You know, there's two things that are beautiful defensively by Jesse Armstead. One on this play is his speed, and the second thing is his smarts, because whenever you have a screen pass, you're going to have 2 blockers out there, and what you have to do is split those blockers. That's exactly what Jesse Armstead did. They set it up nicely. Okay, here's the blockers out here, and Armstead splits them right underneath Trey Johnson. He blows up the blocking wall and makes the tackle.
3rd and 15, 3 wide receivers. Johnson's pass is caught by Fryer, but he was hit immediately by Sehorn, a gain of just 4. And the field goal unit will come out for Washington.
Well, that was good coverage by the Giants secondary downfield, because Johnson wanted to go downfield. He didn't want to dump that ball off to Stephen Davis, but he had nowhere to throw.
Sehorn did not play in the first game against the Redskins.
And as we said, Jeremy Lincoln, who replaced him, really struggled. So the Giants felt that Sehorn would be a huge advantage for them defensively today.
38-yard attempt for Conway. And his kick is no good. Wide to the right. Conway's first miss from under 50 yards this season.
Fox NFL Sunday is brought to you by Jeep, makers of Grand Cherokee, Cherokee, and Wrangler. By 1-800-COLLECT, the easy way to save. By DirecTV, what are you looking at? And by the people of Allstate. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Back in Landover, Maryland, where the Redskins only have a 7-0 lead, only because they've dominated this game, but the Giants are still in it.
And the Giants start from their own 28-yard line. Off the delay, a big hole for Tiki Barber. A gain of 10 for a Giants first down.
Well, the Giants need to get things going offensively. If you look at the first 4 possessions, it has been abysmal. They only had 19 total yards, 2 punts, 2 interceptions, and Kent Graham needs to get this thing going quickly. Now, the Redskins offense, on the other hand, has really been able to move up and down the field. They've got 99 yards total offense. Stephen Davis is running for 5.5 yards a carry, but Albert Connell's holding penalty negated a touchdown that would have given the Redskins a 14-0 lead. The Redskins self-destructed last week against Philadelphia. I mean, they dominated that game. They outran them and outblocked them and out-tackled them, but Philly ended up walking away with that game. So the Giants are still very, very much in this thing.
Redskins turned the ball over 6 times last week against the Eagles.
Right, I mean, you can dominate someone in the first quarter, and that thing can flip around completely in the rest of the game.
Graham on first down, can't find anyone, and is taken down. 3rd sack for the Redskins. It's Marco Coleman.
Well, there's 2 things that happen here. The first thing is the coverage downfield is outstanding by Mike Nolan's defensive backs. And the second thing is Marco Coleman is relentless. He is rushing against Roman Oben, and watch him here. And here's the relentless part. Oben drives him by. He thinks he's got him blocked. Coleman keeps going with it, and Graham still has the football.
Giants going to their no-huddle offense. They spread the field, 2nd and 19. Graham under pressure, throws downfield, and the pass is dropped. Joe Jurevicius bounced off his chest and will be 3rd and long for the Giants.
Kent Graham is starting to get heated up. You know, Pete Mitchell had the ball bounce off his hands, went for an interception, and I think Graham shook that one off nicely. But there is a lot of pressure on Kent Graham right now. He has got to move this offense. He has got to score points, and he did his part on that play there. But Jaravicius just dropped it. Look at the pressure Graham has been under.
3 sacks, 2 interceptions by the Redskins defense. Tiki Barber, good second effort, down the sidelines, dives, but looks to be just short, about 2 yards shy of the first down, a gain of 17.
That was an outstanding effort by Barber, even though he came up short. But Mark McMillan had a shot at him and unloaded. Barber just ran right through him. So McMillan there's McMillan lying on the ground there. Barber almost makes it.
He needed 19 yards, gained 17. Brian Mitchell awaiting Brad Maynard's punt. Maynard from the 35. High kick. Mitchell calls for the fair catch at the 18. 36-yard punt by Maynard. Redskins back to the offense in a moment. This past Thursday here at the stadium, 12 Redskins, including Dana Stubblefield and Brad Johnson, served Thanksgiving dinner to nearly 200 children from area shelters. This past Thursday after practice.
Well, and really, I mean, just great guys. And that's one thing we found throughout the NFL is these guys. And these guys are huge stars, and they're serving Thanksgiving dinner, just great human beings.
And you can spend your Thanksgiving watching the Bears and the Lions this Thursday on Fox. Flea flicker for the Redskins, taking one out of the Giants playbook, and it's picked off. It is picked off by Percy Ellsworth. Darrell Green intercepted the Giants flea flicker, and now Ellsworth gets another block and is taken down at the 30-yard line by Stephen Davis. Wow.
Well, Brad Johnson just puts this ball up for grabs, and he's expecting Albert Connell to make the play. It's a jump ball, and Percy Ellsworth is the one who out-jumps Connell. There it is, the handoff, the pitch back. Johnson under some pressure by Keith Hamilton. Watch it. There's the ball. There's Connell. He turns to jump. He just mistimes it. I mean, Ellsworth times that ball better than Connell.
Ellsworth out of the University of Virginia. 5th interception this season. 17th of his 4-year career. Best field position of the game for the Giants. Tiki Barber, also out of the University of Virginia, gains 4 to the Redskins 26. Anthony Cook made the stop.
As I said, although the first quarter definitely belonged to the Redskins, all of a sudden you can feel the shift in momentum. The Giants have it, but it is absolutely essential for the Giants offense right now to drive this thing in there and score.
Ellsworth missed the last 2 games with a broken foot. Mike Hilliard in motion.
All around it, they're just making a play. And they're making a
grab. Can't find anyone. Took it out of bounds.
It was a nice decision by Kent Graham. I know that in the past couple of weeks, his percentage of completions has dropped off a little bit. But he felt that over the past couple of weeks, he's done a better job of getting rid of the football instead of taking the sack.
And Kent Graham knows that Kerry Collins is waiting in the wings, signed to a big contract by the Giants during the offseason, the former starter with the Panthers and the Saints. Mike Nolan, the former defensive coordinator of the Giants from 1993 through 96, getting a strong performance from his Redskin group today.
And this is such a critical play here. 3rd down with the Giants close to the Redskins end zone.
3rd and 6. 3 wide receivers set. Play clock winding down. Graham's pass deflected. Tiki Barber unable to make the catch.
Gutsy call by Mike Nolan. He said he was going to do it, but man, it's tough to do. You're in this critical situation, 3rd and 6, back to the wall. He calls the blitz. The Redskins come on the blitz, and Marco Coleman goes right over Mike Rosenthal, the rookie, and nails Kent Graham, forcing him to rush that pass.
And now Cary Blanchard replacing the injured Brad D'Aloiso, who kicked for the Redskins last year. He was cut in late August by Washington, out to attempt a 44-yard field goal. And Blanchard's kick is good, so the Giants are on the board. They capitalize on the Redskins' turnover. Ellsworth with the interception, and Blanchard the field goal. A 7-3 lead for the Washington Redskins. Early second quarter. Brian Mitchell on the left, James Thrash on the right, and the Redskins want to incorporate Thrash into the return game. Mitchell has been the primary returner over the last decade for the Redskins. Short kickoff, and that has been Blanchard's problem so far this year for the Giants. They brought in Joe Nedney this week for a tryout as Thrash returns at 14 yards. Next week on Fox NFL Sunday, it's a battle in the NFC East. Deuce Staley and the Eagles take on the Redskins, who they beat last week, plus other regional action. Coverage begins an hour before kickoff with the pregame show at noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific.
Tampa Bay with another win today. That they've put themselves into good playoff position. Go out to Seattle. Here you see the NFC East standings, and Chris Collinsworth today predicting that the winner of this division will have an 8-8 record.
No NFC East champion has ever finished with fewer than 10 victories since the merger back in 1970. Stephen Davis gains 2 yards on first down. Michael Strahan made the tackle.
Well, the Giants defense is going to have to stop Stephen Davis, because that has been what's worked so far this game for the Redskins, and they will continue to go to Davis until the Giants stop it.
Two-yard pickup on first down by Davis, setting up second down and 8. Alexander shifting, so is Connell. Play clock down to 1. Johnson rolling right, and the pass is caught by Larry Centers up to the 35-yard line. A gain of 5. Jesse Armstead brought him down.
Yeah, Armstead is just so quick, and he has such great reactions. But the Giants defense reacts even before this play starts. Look at all the shifting here by the Redskins offense. So they're shifting in their motion, and then look at the Giants. I mean, these guys have to scramble. You have to think fast, and you have to know your assignment without hesitation in order to make a play like Jesse Armstead does.
Third down and 4 from the 35. And the play is blown dead. And some extracurricular activity. Andy Heck, the left tackle, and Michael Strahan involved.
And Strahan normally playing the left end. Today they've moved him around to put him on the right end, so the Redskins offense can't zero in on him as much.
Delay defense, 5-yard penalty.
Delay
First
defense
down.
means there was a flinch. Someone was flinching at the line of scrimmage to draw the offensive player off sides. So it's not really a delay, but it's like a delay. They call it a delay.
Whatever
like
you want to call it.
Well, it's like when you get a speeding ticket and they say it's a muffler.
Well, it does give the Redskins an automatic first down. From their own 40. Davis up the middle. Stephen Davis.
Goodbye.
Davis brought down by Ellsworth after a gain of 50.
That was great speed by Percy Ellsworth. I thought Davis was gone. Outstanding speed. But the Redskins are dominating the line of scrimmage. Look at the hole that opens up here for Stephen Davis. Mike Sellers with the block. Look at those blocks. They're just controlling the line. But Ellsworth with super speed, and Stephen Davis has just gone over 100 yards. So Jesse Armstead's guarantee is by the boards, but Ellsworth saves the touchdown. If Brandon Sanders were still in there, that thing was gone.
Ellsworth saves the touchdown as Skip Hicks is forced out of bounds at the 5. Despite coming off that broken foot, he still chased down Stephen Davis. Davis had a 76-yard run for a touchdown in the game we called against Chicago 3 weeks ago. So this his second longest run of the season. And
Davis is just worn out. I doubt that he's got an injury. I think he's just catching his breath over there. Heck, he's run for over 106 yards in a quarter and a half.
2nd and 5, Skip Hicks again bottled up by a trio of Giants led by Keith Hamilton. So Skip Hicks, the second-year man out of UCLA, replacing Davis. And now Larry Centers comes into the game.
Is that a ammonia stick that Kent Graham was smelling? It looked like a smelling salts, and he doesn't look like he's got his wits with him. Slight concussion maybe is an unofficial report
from the sidelines.
So we may see Kerry Collins.
3rd and 6. Redskins can get a first down. Johnson in trouble. Gets rid of the pass, and it's incomplete. Looking for Stephen Alexander, the tight end. And it is official. A slight concussion, we are told, suffered by Giants quarterback Kent Graham. So Kerry Collins will come into the game. And a good job by the Giants defense following the long run by Davis. They hold the Redskins to a field goal attempt.
And that's a great job, because Davis opened him up, ran down the middle, and you have to again credit Percy Ellsworth for running Davis down, saving a touchdown. And then a great stand in the red zone by the whole front.
Conway missed from 38. This a 24-yard attempt. And this time his kick is straight through. So the Redskins extend their lead. It is now 10-3 as Jim Fossil goes over the play chart with Kerry Collins.
I spoke to Kerry Collins right before the game, and he was very anxious for this moment. He feels that he has a grasp of the Giants system. He says he's been getting more and more repetitions at practice, and the Giants players like what they see in Collins. I mean, Michael Strahan compared Collins to a Mercedes that's sitting out in the driveway. And he said, you know, we love Kent Graham. He's like our pickup truck. You know, we know he's dependable and he'll always be there for us, but we are anxious to see what Collins can do when we get him out on the road.
And Collins has done a good job in practice. He's played in 3 games. He started 1 in Arizona, a game won by the Cardinals, 14-3. You saw the numbers. No touchdowns, 2 interceptions. He's thrown 57 pass attempts for the Giants this season.
Well, Kenny, concussion or not, Kent Graham may have been on the verge of sitting down anyway. The numbers were 3 of 10, 36 yards and 2 interceptions.
7-point Redskin lead. David Patton from the 6. Patton across the 30 to the 33-yard line, a 27-yard return. Champ Bailey made the stop on special teams. So Kerry Collins, who went to the Pro Bowl in 1996, he led the Carolina Panthers to the NFC Championship game, but the well-chronicled problems last year, which led to his release by head coach Tom Capers, and then he went down to New Orleans.
Well, this is a great opportunity for him. This is what he wanted, and he said right before the game, what a perfect day to play football. It's beautiful out here on the grass, and the Giants, again, still in this thing.
On first down, the handoff, Tiki Barber across the 35 to the 37-yard line, a gain of 4, and Dukwe Kalu made the tackle for the Redskins.
The thing about a new quarterback is that he always acts as a catalyst. He always gives everyone around him a little bit of a spark just by virtue of the fact that he's different. And again, this team believes in Kerry Collins' physical talents, and he certainly has the benefit of the doubt with them.
The Redskins did see Collins week 2 in the blowout. He replaced Graham. And Collins' first pass is caught for a first down by the tight end, Pete Mitchell, a gain of 9.
And Collins just does what everyone says he's so good at doing. He drills that ball in there perfectly. Mitchell breaks across again. They want to attack the center of the field. Mitchell breaks across the center. And there's the ball, perfectly thrown. Not on his back shoulder, nothing he has to reach around and grab for. It's right there into Mitchell's waiting arms.
Giants in their spread offense. First down from the 45. The pitch back. Tiki Barber cuts to the outside and is forced out of bounds. No gain on the play for Barber. The numbers on Kent Graham, who is out of the game, suffered his second concussion of the season. Collins off the play fake, 2nd and 10, a shovel pass, penalty marker on the play as Tiki Barber is into Redskins territory. A gain of 6, but it will come back.
Holding, 72, offense, 10-yard penalty, 2nd down.
That's Roman Oben, who's had a tough time with Marco Coleman all day. And the Redskins front four do a nice job of getting pressure. Now here's Coleman right here on Oben. He comes up to the outside, then gets under and lifts him up. And there's the hold right there.
Roman Oben, who used to sell pretzels, Tim, at Redskins home games at RFK Stadium. He grew up here in the Washington area, playing in front of his friends and family this afternoon. 2nd down and 20 following the penalty. Collins had trouble with the snap. From the center, Brian Williams. A loss of 7.
Whenever you bring a new quarterback in, there's always a concern with handling the ball. The ball is placed perfectly by Brian Williams. Kerry Collins just loses his focus on that ball.
And there's Williams wearing the eye shield. He missed the last 2 seasons with an eye injury. Third and 27. High snap. Collins airing it out, looking for Amani Toomer, who wanted a flag. Nothing thrown. The rookie Champ Bailey on the coverage.
Champ Bailey has been matched up with Amani Toomer all day because Bailey is a guy who has some physical abilities and he knows how to get into Toomer's way, and that's exactly what he does there. And because he's looking up for that pass and playing the ball, it's not pass interference, it's just excellent coverage.
Brian Mitchell back deep in single safety for the Redskins. 4th punt of the half for Maynard. Mitchell from the 20, and he is met immediately by the rookie out of Eastern Washington, Bashir Livingston. A 52-yard punt. Tremendous coverage by Livingston. Well, Tim, this Thursday, start your Thanksgiving with a Fox NFL special as fierce NFC Central rivals collide. It will be the Bears and the Lions Thanksgiving Day right here on Fox. It all starts with the blockbuster pregame show at 11:30 Eastern, 8:30 Pacific.
I will be watching, drumstick in hand.
An early start for the Bears and the Lions.
Kent Graham obviously dazed. You know, the Redskins defense did an outstanding job of hammering him.
3 sacks, 2 early on. Now Brad Johnson and the Redskins start from the 20. And what an effort by Michael Strahan, hitting Stephen Davis for a loss of 2.
The thing that Michael Strahan has besides size and strength is incredible quickness. That's really what differentiates he and Jesse Armstead, the Giants' 2 best players. Watch him here. He just comes right off the corner and he gets into the backfield.
Well, Sam, if you love a good scare, check out Fox Tuesday night for the network television premiere of Scream. Nev Campbell, Courtney Cox, and Drew Barrymore star in the blockbuster thriller Scream on a special night Tuesday at 8, 7 Central on Fox. Stephen Davis making the Giants scream with another big run as he is well over 100 yards. Felipe Sparks made the stop, a gain of 9.
I can't figure why Michael Strahan is on the sideline. Stephen Davis's numbers today have been exceptional.
Johnson out of the shotgun. Bernard Holsey is in the game for Strahan. 3rd and 3. And Johnson's pass is caught in Giants territory. The first reception of the season for James Thrash. A gain of 26.
The thing that Brad Johnson has is such a nice ability to throw the ball deep. And this isn't just a strength throw. That throw was laid in perfectly. It was a timing throw because he had to lay it up into a zone, over the underneath coverage and inside the over-the-top coverage. There it is right there. Perfectly placed football.
And Johnson's pass on first down off the fingertips of Larry Centers.
Larry Centers came out real hot today, got involved, had some catches, nice runs after the catches, and that time it's the age-old problem where you start to run before you catch it.
We approach the 2-minute warning. Redskins will have time for one more play. The story of this first half, the Redskins defense. They have held the Giants to just 50 total yards. Strahan back in the game for New York. 2nd and 10 from the 48. Johnson to Centers. First down, Larry Centers works his way up to the Giants' 36. And that takes us under 2 minutes remaining. A 13-yard gain by Centers. Will return in a moment. Redskins leading by a touchdown. 10-3 Redskins over the Giants. Coming up on the Visa halftime report. JB, Terry, Howie, and Chris with scores and highlights from around the NFL, and our Fox Sports ticker will have up to the second stats. That's all coming up on the Visa halftime report.
Kenny, the score is 10-3, but if you look at the yardage, Washington with 203 yards total offense to the Giants 50. So the dominance on the ground and in the yardage is not expressed in the score.
Off the play fake to Davis. Johnson looking for Connell, who does not have a catch today. Broken up. Penalty marker, Jason Sehorn. Pass interference. And it looks to be against Sehorn. John Fox, defensive coordinator, does not agree.
Well, Albert Connell had Jason Sehorn clearly beat.
Pass interference, 31, defense. By rule, the penalty occurred in the end zone. Will place the ball at the 1-yard line.
Take a look at it. Again, Sehorn, the more physical of the two cornerbacks. He bites on the move, and Albert Connell is clearly open. He has to pull back to catch this thing. He stops up, and there's Sehorn, bumps into him, and it's that bump that affects his body, that moves his body, that draws the penalty.
Second pass interference call in the end zone, and the last one led to the Redskins touchdown.
Again, if the defensive back has to turn and make a play for the ball for that bump to be legal.
First and goal from the 1. Davis. Ball came loose. Giants say they have it.
What a play by Jesse Armstead.
Keith Hamilton on the recovery on 1st and goal from the 1. The Redskins turn it over.
Jesse Armstead got into the backfield so quick that Davis never really got to complete the handoff. Watch it here. Brad Johnson turns around. He just gets the ball in there, and Armstead nails him. What an incredible turnaround and a stand for the Giants defense. No, it wasn't even Armstead. It was just a bad handling of the handoff. From that angle there, you see it's just a bad handoff or a bad taking of the handoff by Stephen Davis.
So a huge turn of events for the Giants. And now Charles Way gives Kerry Collins some breathing room as he gains 8 yards up to the 10.
Well, Charles Way has done some things in the last several games that really remind me of him a couple of years ago. He's a fullback. He's a big, strong guy. But remember a couple of years ago, he showed great elusiveness. And then he had some problems with his knees. But he has shown flashes of his old brilliance in the last couple games.
He led the Giants in rushing in '97 when they won the division. On 2nd and 2, this is Way once again. Out of the University of Virginia, Dan Wilkinson and Derek Smith combining on the tackle as we are under 1 minute remaining in this second quarter.
Timeout, Washington. That's the team's second charge timeout. 30-second timeout.
So the Redskins stop the clock, hoping to force a punt. They have 1 timeout remaining.
The Redskins defense here has to really be cautious of giving up the big play. That and missed tackles has really cost this unit that 31st ranking in the National Football League.
And since the merger in 1970, no team has ever gone to the playoffs with the worst defense, with the last ranked defense in the NFL. Redskins are 31st after 10 weeks.
So now this is a short yardage situation, but they need to be focused on stopping the short yardage, but also on not giving up a silly big play. And you see some scores. Dallas out in front of Arizona.
Mike Nolan sending the message to his troops. It will be 3rd and inches for the Giants.
Chris Collinsworth's Bengals with a lead over the Ravens. And Green Bay finding their rudder again, beating Detroit, Carolina with a win over Cleveland.
Buccaneers with another victory over the Falcons. 3rd down and 1. Collins on the keeper, and he looks to have it. So Kerry Collins picks up the 1st down. And the Giants hang on to the football with under 40 seconds remaining in the half.
I think the Giants are fortunate to be in a 10-3 game right now after the way the Redskins have moved the ball. But Jim Fossil's defense has come up with some very big plays, and also they've been fortunate on some penalties.
Now Collins on the pump fake to a wide open Ike Hilliard. Forced out of bounds by Matt Stevens in Redskins territory. 12 seconds remaining in the half. A gain of 46 yards.
That's exactly the big kind of play I was talking about only a few minutes ago. That has been the bane of this Redskins team. Ike Hilliard, Darrell Green bites inside, slips up. And now the Giants are going to have a shot or two here at the end zone. The ball was underthrown by Kerry Collins. Hilliard had to stop for that, or else it would have been a touchdown.
Giants have 2 timeouts remaining from the Redskins 40. Collins to the outside. Tiki Barber takes it out of bounds, stops the clock with 6 seconds to go. And the line of scrimmage will be the Washington 38.
This is the most offense we've seen from the Giants by far all day. Kerry Collins' numbers looking good so far.
Three wide receivers. This should be the last play of the half unless Jurevicius can get out of bounds, and he does, stopping the clock. So that play took only 4 seconds. And now the Giants will attempt a long field goal.
That was a perfectly thrown ball by Collins. Nice catch by Jurevicius. Instead of going for the whole thing, putting the ball up for a touchdown, Giants opt to go for the field goal here. Collins puts that thing on a line. There it is. It's just you can't throw that out cut any better than Collins did on that play.
45-yard attempt, Gary Blanchard, and the former Redskin cuts Washington's lead at the half to just 4 points. What a turn of events. Redskins had first and goal on the 1. Stephen Davis fumbled, and the Giants come away with 3 points. They score again following a Redskin turnover.
And the Giants offense given a new breath of life by Kerry Collins, coming in to replace the injured Kent Graham. Redskins defense struggled all season, giving up big plays in bad situations.
So the Redskins lead the Giants at the half, 10-6. The Visa halftime report is next after this message and a word from your local Fox station. 10-6 halftime lead for the Washington Redskins over the New York Giants as we welcome you back. Kenny Albert along with Tim Green. Big swing in the final moments for the Giants. Redskins on the 1-yard line could have taken a 17-3 lead. Instead, they turn it over. Giants kick a field goal.
Big swing is the exact term to use, because the Redskins defense came out and they were absolutely handling the Giants offensively. And they came up with big play after big play, sacking Kent Graham. He was sacked 3 times. They absolutely stifled the running game. They had it working completely on defense. Their offense was also doing things incredibly well. They were running. Stephen Davis is already over 100 yards. They're running up and down the field. Brad Johnson not getting the ball as much to his wide receivers as we thought, but he was getting the ball to his running backs and his tight ends. However, despite the dominance statistically in the first half, here they are right at the end. Jason Sehorn with the interference penalty gives the Redskins the ball on the 1. The exchange is fumbled. Giants get it back, and with only seconds left, complete this long pass to Ike Hilliard, which results in a field goal for the Giants. And as you said, that was a 10-point swing in this game. Giants sitting behind only 4 points after pretty much being handled by the Redskins all but the last 15 seconds of the first half.
And remember, the Redskins stopped the clock with 50 seconds to go. They called timeout thinking they might get the ball back, and that came back to haunt. Giants had enough time for the field goal.
And everyone is going to complain if the Redskins lose this, that was a bad move to call that timeout and to give the Giants that opportunity. But of course, Norv Turner with a passer like Brad Johnson, with the offensive weapons he's got, you're thinking, hey, let's get more points here. 50 seconds is plenty of time for me if we can stop them on 3rd down.
And Norv spoke moments ago with our Brett Haber.
All right, guys, thanks very much, Norv. All we hear about this year is how your defense is ranked last in the league. Outside of the last 60 seconds, you make repeatedly big plays with the interceptions and the sacks today.
I think we're getting a great effort from our defense. I think we're getting a great effort from our offense. We just aren't capitalizing on the opportunities. We're making too many mistakes. We got to limit mistakes.
Terrific field position for the Redskins after Blanchard's kickoff bounced out of bounds, and Stephen Davis gains 2 yards on 1st down.
Kenny, again, in the first half, the numbers don't look as bad as they did most of that half. The Giants, with 121 yards, 71 of those yards came on the last drive. They had gone into that drive with only 50 yards, and the Redskins with 202.
Each team turned it over twice. Off the play fake, Johnson's pass is caught by Albert Connell, his first reception of the game for a 1st down, a gain of 17 yards.
Well, remember, right at the beginning of the game, I said that Brad Johnson has big receivers with big play capabilities, because Albert Connell has got exceptional speed and moves. And Michael Westbrook has the size and the speed. He has the total package, but they have to make the plays. Potential means nothing. Making plays is what it's about.
First catch for Connell. Westbrook playing with the broken wrist does not have any. Irving Fryer in motion. Davis up the gut to the 39, a gain of 3 yards. Jesse Armstead again making the tackle.
Now, Marcus Buckley really, though, makes this play. I mean, this has got to be a frightening thing. I mean, think about it. You're a middle linebacker, and you're running up into that hole, and here comes big Trey Johnson, who is well over 300 pounds and can really move. So here comes Buckley, and he just sells out, gets underneath Trey Johnson, and makes that tackle.
There's Trey. 2nd and 7 from the Giants' 39. Westbrook in motion, and Johnson's pass is dropped by Connell.
That's potential, but you've got to make those plays. Got to. Remember, it was Albert Connell's holding penalty that also negated a Stephen Davis running touchdown earlier. It's just a simple slant pass, and Johnson throws that ball perfectly.
Remember, Connell dropped a bunch last week in the loss to the Eagles.
Connell, of course, best known this season for taking on Deion Sanders verbally.
And then Sanders wound up hurting the Redskins a couple of weeks back. On 3rd and 7, Johnson lofts it up. The catch is made by Fryer, but Emmanuel McDaniel, playing in his first game with the Giants, just off the practice squad, made the stop 1 yard shy of the first down marker.
The Redskins are in a 4th and short situation here that they've got to consider going for. It's a little long for a field goal, but in a contest like this, yeah, I think Norv is going to do it, and I think you have to. You have to coach aggressively if you want your players to play aggressively. Mike Nolan has coached aggressively on defense, and his defense has played aggressively. I think Norv Turner is following suit.
Redskins call time with the play clock winding down. 4th and 1 coming up following these messages.
Fox NFL Sunday is brought to you by Chevrolet Trucks, the most dependable, longest-lasting trucks on the road.
Fourth down play for the Redskins. Giants defense perfect this year on 4th down. Johnson to Brian Mitchell, and he is close. Felipe Sparks not happy with the spot.
Emmanuel McDaniel did everything he could. He sold out. He launched himself. He's not a big cornerback. He's in there playing nickel corner, and he unloaded everything he had, but he doesn't have a lot. I happen to like guys that are undersized and out there and the kind of guys they shouldn't be but are. Right? Oh, God. That is about as close as it gets.
By the nose of the football.
Nice job by Brian Mitchell of launching himself. He's struggled this season. He's dropped some passes. They come out 3 wides. And this is the play. This is what's called. They dump it off to him. Strahan makes it as hard as he can, too, by getting his hands up and then getting in on the tackle as well.
So the Redskins move the chains.
Yeah, but the Giants' defense has been so good in the red zone area today.
First catch of the game for Michael Westbrook, and he is wrestled down by Ryan Phillips. And right now for an NFL update, let's return to James Brown in Los Angeles.
Fellas, take a look at Dave Brown handing off to Adrian Morrell. Pitches it back to Brown. He rolls right on the run, fires a 21-yard strike to Rob Moore. Dallas now trails by 3 in the 3rd. As we go back to Kenny. Hey, Tim, thanks for the belt comment because Terry thinks I've eaten my fitness training.
Hey, you know, titillating is on Terry's mind after all that leather during the pregame show, JB. I can see how he'd mistake scintillating for titillating.
Yes, Jimmy Kimmel continuing to throw the barbs Terry's way. And another good job by the Giants defense, led by the two-time Pro Bowler Jesse Armstead.
Armstead is, you know, we talked about him before. He is active and he's quick. And that's really what makes him special. He gets himself into the right places, and he can make exceptional plays because of that quickness. He has a range that goes sideline to sideline. And it's one thing to have that range, and then it's another to have the motor that drives you through an entire 60 minutes of the game, and that's what Armstead had.
3rd and 10. Johnson is taken down. He got rid of it. Cedric Jones wrapped him up. And the Redskins will send out the field goal unit.
And this is just a nice job by Cedric Jones. It's him against Andy Heck. And Cedric Jones is known more for his kind of stable play in the running game. Not a big factor in the pass rush for the Giants defense this year, but this is a big play, and he comes up with it by just beating Andy Heck around the corner.
So now the Giants hold the Redskins to another field goal attempt, a 50-yard attempt for Conway. His career and season long is 51. And it is well wide and short. So Conway is 1 for 3 today. And the Redskins continue to lead by only 4 points. Kenny Albert, Tim Green coming to you from Landover, Maryland. Washington beat the Giants 50-21 back in September. Their lead today is 10-6.
And a lot of that is because the Giants defense has come up with big plays in critical situations. The other part of it is, you know, the Redskins have made some mistakes. I mean, they missed 2 field goals. They had a holding penalty, bring back 1 touchdown. They had a fumble on the 1-yard line. So some of it has been the Redskins beating themselves.
Giants come out with 2 tight ends. 1st and 10 from the 40. The spot of the hold on the missed field goal. Charles Way into Redskins territory, a gain of 12.
Well, Kenny, I told you, Charles Way, he's lost his shoe on that one. But he has shown signs of him 2 years ago. And what he's got is the size to run it up the middle, but he also has some nice moves and the ability to get to the perimeter of the defense. You know, the Redskins defense to this point have really shut down the Giants' run. And Kerry Collins is starting to heat up the passing game. The last thing the Skins defense wants to do is allow the Giants to have balance.
Again, 2 tight ends, and with Way getting his shoe put back on, Tiki Barber gains 3 yards to the Redskins 46. Derek Smith made the tackle.
If the Giants are able to come out in 2 tights and start running the ball and doing things on the ground, then that's going to open up the play action pass for Kerry Collins, and it's going to make Mike Nolan begin to guess, because playing aggressive defense when the other team is just passing means blitzing.
Giants spread it out, 3 wide receivers. Collins pass deflected and picked off. Derek Smith on the interception. The 3rd today by the Redskins, his 1st of the season.
Well, Jaravicius has this ball thrown right into his pads, but he can't hang on. It bounces up. The Redskins come up with a big defensive play of their own.
First career pick for Smith. Following the Derek Smith interception, Redskins take over from their own 39-yard line. The 3rd Giants turnover as Jim Fossil goes over the pictures with Kerry Collins.
Yeah, well, Collins threw that ball well. You know, it just bounced off Jaravicius's pads. And Derek Smith made a great heads-up play, you know, just going for that ball aggressively.
Westbrook in motion. From the 39, Stephen Davis up the middle to the 42-yard line. A gain of 3. Bernard Holsey made the tackle.
As Stephen Davis consistently, it just grinds you up. And I think that, if anything, Norv Turner has to resist the temptation to rely too much on Brad Johnson in the passing game. Yeah, I know that Johnson really is the center of his offense, and Norv has these brilliant pass patterns and shifting formations, but they've got a back that can just run it right at you and pick up the big yards.
There's Davis again, close to midfield. He gained 126 yards against the Giants in their first meeting, and he has 127 so far today.
You know, whenever a runner is getting big yards like that, there's always big guys up front. Here's John Jansen, and watch the block he puts on Jason Christian, Peter, and just absolutely buries him, takes him away. And, you know, Jansen knew that Strahan was heated all week, and his teammates knew he was geeked up for the game because he combed his hair for the first time all season.
That's right. That's what Dana Stubblefield told us. Johnson on first down, and Westbrook collided with Sparks. No flags. It will be 2nd and 10.
Take another look at John Jansen here, the tackle. Now this time he's blocking Bernard Hosley. And he gets right up under his pads and he just controls him. He's a guy who just comes to work, and Hosley takes a crack at him, and you know, Jansen does a nice job of keeping his composure. Doesn't say a lot, just shows up to play in the weight room first thing every morning.
Johnson to the outside. Westbrook playing with that cast on his right wrist, unable to make the catch.
Well, Westbrook's got to make those kind of catches, and Westbrook actually, despite the cast and the broken wrist, had a good week of practice. And I thought that he had a good week of practice because sometimes you have an injury and it causes you to focus in. He just breaks this pattern out here. The ball is well thrown by Brad Johnson, but Westbrook does not come up with it. You know, but look, you have to credit the guy's toughness for being out here with that injury. It's like Emmitt Smith in the pregame show talked about the 6 screws in the plate in his hand, and it was no big deal when he talked to Howard.
Westbrook's goal is to play all 16 games, he said. Steven Alexander tries to make the sliding catch, but could not. Ryan Phillips on the coverage, and the Redskins will punt.
No, Phillips had excellent coverage on that, and that's a good job. Phillips is more of a run player, and they were concerned about his coverage today against Steven Alexander. Alexander breaks all the way across the field, and Phillips is with him every step of the way. Now, Alexander should have caught this, but it doesn't matter. Phillips' coverage was so good that Steven Alexander was not going to get the first down anyway.
Matt Turk off the snap from his brother and his agent Dan. Tiki Barber lets it go. It takes a Giants bounce into the end zone. 50-yard punt by Turk. Giants take over on their own 20-yard line when we come back.
Fox NFL Sunday is brought to you by Southwest Airlines, proud sponsor of the NFL and official airline of the Super Bowl. By Bud Light, for the great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down, make it a Bud Light. By Intel's Web Outfitter service for Pentium 3 processor owners, free at Intel.com. And by the motor oil that provides maximum protection. Castrol GTX, drive hard.
The Lincoln Memorial here in the nation's capital. We are just outside in Landover, Maryland, where the Redskins lead the Giants 10-6. 1st and 10 from the 20. Off the play fake. Collins with time, looking for Amani Toomer, broken up beautifully by the rookie Champ Bailey.
Champ Bailey has had a really nice day today against Amani Toomer. They gave him the job all day long. They felt Toomer would have a hard time getting downfield on Bailey. Bailey with great position, and watch this play. Now, he puts his hand on Toomer, and that's okay. You can put your hand on the offensive player as long as you don't shove him, as long as you don't affect his inertia. Amani Toomer totally shut down today. 0 catches with Champ Bailey all over him.
And here's the Giants' leading receiver. 2nd and 10, Tiki Barber is taken down by Marco Coleman. No gain on the play.
And Marco Coleman has been in the Giants' backfield quite a bit today. We've seen him make some nice plays, and he has definitely taken advantage of Roman Oben. Here he is right here. He comes on this play underneath over the top, actually, of the trap block. Ron Stone expected Coleman to come underneath. That's typically what a defensive end does, to bounce it out. But Coleman slipped right around it.
Giants averaging under 3 yards per carry. 3rd and 10. The crowd on its feet. And the play clock winds all the way down. Question is, did the Giants call timeout first?
Delayed.
They did not.
Offense. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
And the Giants practiced with speakers this week, anticipating the loud crowd.
Speakers are never the same as the crowd. I mean, we used to do it in Atlanta. They bring the speakers, but that's sound from one spot. If a stadium gets going, it's all around you, and it gets right inside your helmet, right inside your brain. And now this crowd's going to be even louder and make it hard. 78,000 speakers in Collins' brain.
3rd and 15. Collins steps up, throws, nearly picked off by Darrell Green.
Well, Darrell Green may not have the speed that he once had, but he's got enough quickness to cover Jaravicius here, who's a big physical receiver. He redirects, makes a play on that ball beautifully. Only thing he didn't do was catch it. I will tell you this, the Giants' offensive line gave Collins plenty of time.
Maynard from the 5. Ryan Mitchell. Mitchell into Giants territory. Down the sidelines. Forced out of bounds by Marcus Buckley at the Giants 30. A 33-yard return by Mitchell, his longest of the season. Following the 33-yard return by Brian Mitchell, Redskins start on the Giants 29. Off the play fake, Johnson takes off and dives head first across the 20, a 9-yard pickup.
Well, Kenny, we talked at the beginning of this game about the Redskins' need for Brad Johnson to deliver the ball downfield to his wide receivers and the stress that would be on the Giants cornerbacks. If you look here, so far, Jason Sehorn and Felipe Sparks have done an outstanding job of really limiting these wide receivers.
Davis first down to the Giants' 18-yard line. So the Redskins are in the red zone for the 5th time, but they've scored only 1 touchdown.
And you have to remember that this is where the Giants have done so well defensively and why they're still in this game. It's 10-6. Redskins have moved the ball up and down the field, mostly by running with Stephen Davis and passes to the running backs. But the Giants, when they've had their backs to the wall there, have come up with the big plays.
And the biggest, the fumble by Davis on the 1. This is Davis looking for redemption. Pushed out of bounds at the 10.5 by Jason Sehorn. A gain of 8.
Well, there's some great blocking here because Stephen Davis has an enormous hole to run through. Larry Centers goes one way and Davis breaks this ball back against the grain. It's a nice job by the front line of the Redskins. You know, the Redskins are a better team because, yes, they have Brad Johnson and he's a high-quality quarterback, but they also have a better, more cohesive, healthier offensive line.
Skip Hicks in the game, 2nd and 2. This is Hicks. Fights his way down to the 6-yard line. And another Redskins first down.
Boy, that's a lot of stuff coming at you if you're a Giants defensive player. First, Mike Sellers, who's the fullback / H-back, who's coming at you on the lead. Here's Sellers here. He's coming. And then watch Trey Johnson. He's coming. So there's a lot of weight coming through there. Look at Johnson, just gets right up under Ryan Phillips and blasts him backwards. That's tough to defend when you get that much weight coming at you that fast.
Davis back in the game, 1st and goal. Davis down to the 5-yard line. He has the game's only touchdown. He leads the NFL with 15.
I'm impressed with the pride of this Giants defense. You know, they said that there's no way we'll have another 50-point game. It was an embarrassment. We take pride in the fact that we're the heart and soul of this team. As we go, this team goes. And as you said, in the red zone, this is the 5th time the Redskins have been there. They've only scored 1 touchdown. Can they do it again?
2nd and goal. Davis is stopped. So it will be 3rd and goal for the Redskins.
That time they went right behind John Jansen.
Redskins in the red zone 4 previous trips, a touchdown, a field goal, a missed field goal, and a fumble.
Yeah, watch it here. I mean, it's a little bit of a draw play, but the Giants defense is so quick to recover. You know, Michael Strahan is right in there making that tackle. I mean, he was blocked and upfield, but he still got in on the tackle.
3rd and goal from the 3. The pitch back to Davis. And Stephen Davis is stopped 3 yards short.
It's just pride. You know, John Fox's guys have tremendous pride. After Mitchell's big punt return, their backs were to the wall yet again, and they come up with a big play again. And Felipe Sparks is a cornerback. He's out there to cover pass receivers. And look at him here. He comes up and inside and helps get in on this tackle. Look at all the Giants that are there. It's a quick, intense, proud defense.
And now a 21-yard attempt. Brett Conway is 1 of 3 today. Now 2 of 4 as he extends the Redskins lead, but again they are held to only a field goal. 1 touchdown in 5 trips inside the red zone.
Well, a couple of those trips in the red zone, the Redskins self-destructed. They committed penalties, they fumbled the ball, but this time John Fox's defense just stiffened up and they just beat them. You know, they beat them at the line of scrimmage.
Well, Tim, all things being equal, who's got the best short game? The world's top sharpshooters from the PGA, LPGA, and Senior Tour try to knock it stiff for $1 million payday. The Sun Microsystems Par 3 Challenge, Thanksgiving Day following football on Fox.
Of course, Pat Summerall will be hosting that, and you know, there's something really comforting about listening to Pat Summerall announce a golf match.
So he'll be doing the Bears and the Lions, and then the golf.
He's gonna have to work quick.
The beauty of videotape.
That's right. As you said, he's gonna start the day out in Thanksgiving Day with the Bears-Lions game, and that should be a good game.
And then he'll work another game on Sunday. He used to work as the Giants' place kicker. Conway's kickoff is taken at the 5 by David Patton, the former Arena League player. And Patton brings it out across the 30 to the 31. A 26-yard return. With just over 1 minute remaining in the 3rd quarter, Giants will go back to work. Kerry Collins replaced Kent Graham in the 2nd quarter after Graham suffered his 2nd concussion of the season.
And I think that Collins and the Giants offense needs to move the ball, not just to move the ball and score, but I think they need to give that defense a rest, because the Giants defense has been in bad situations a lot throughout this game. Some of it not by their own doing, and they need a rest. They need to sit over there on the side and catch their breath.
And remember, the Giants going against the 31st and last ranked defense coming into the game. Collins complete. Pete Mitchell first down to the 46-yard line, a gain of 15. Sam Shade, Leamont Evans combining on the stop.
Well, the Giants going back to their original plan, attacking the center of the field with Pete Mitchell. Now Mitchell on this play is covered by Sam Shade, the strong safety for the Redskins, but he does a great job of getting himself clearly open. Watch it here. He just breaks here into the middle of the field. There's shade right there.
Off the play fake on first down. Collins looking for Hilliard. Incomplete. Darrell Green on the coverage.
I didn't see Ike Hilliard reach for that ball. Darrell Green had tight coverage to him, and Leamon Evans did a nice job of getting ready to come over the top. But watch this here. No, I guess he just reached with the one hand. The coverage was outstanding, though, by Darrell Green.
Hilliard caught 8 passes in the first game against the Redskins. 2 so far today. Giants spread it out, 2nd and 10. Tiki Barber into Redskins territory, pulled down at the Washington 49, a gain of 4. So it will be 3rd and 6 as time winds down. That will do it for this third quarter from Landover, Maryland, with the Redskins leading the Giants by a touchdown. Fox NFL Sunday continues after these messages from your local Fox station. Redskins with the only points in the third quarter, leading by 7. And a key 3rd and 5 coming up right here for the Giants.
Giants only 2 of 8 in third downs today, and they've struggled there all season.
Collins under pressure, hit by Kalu, and taking it in for the touchdown is Marco Coleman. And Duque Kalu with the hit. Coleman into the end zone, a 42-yard return.
Roman Oben has struggled all day long against Coleman, but this time it's Nduke Kalu who comes right outside, slaps Oben's hands down, and makes a great play defensively, because you can come around and sack that quarterback, but you want to slap at those hands, jar that ball loose. Then Marco Coleman makes another big play. He has had a very big day, and so has the Redskins defense.
Conway adds the point after. Marco Coleman scores the 4th defensive touchdown for the Redskins this season.
Here's Nduke here. Redskins come with 4, 5. There's the slap. And that's a gift for Marco Coleman. That's what you dream of as a defensive lineman. You know, you're coming in and you're rushing, and all of a sudden, whoop, there's the ball right in your hands with nothing between you and the end zone. Excellent, excellent play by Nduke Kalu, who just came back this week from an injury.
Broken foot.
And they put him back on to do just that, rush the passer. But as I said, Roman Oben has had a rough day.
Kalu, a former Eagle. He was born in Baltimore. 3rd season out of Rice. And it's the 2nd touchdown for the Redskins defense against the Giants this year. Sean Barber returned an interception in their first meeting. And for Marco Coleman, his first career touchdown, and the Redskins have already eclipsed their takeaway total of last season. So the Redskins lead by 14 points as Livingston brings it out. Ball is loose. And the Giants have it. Recovered by Bernard Holsey.
Well, that last play was a scream for the Giants. I mean, they just, yeah, that's, if you're a Giant, you're screaming over that one.
What a segue. Tim, I know you like a good scare, so check out Fox Tuesday night, the network television premiere of Scream. Nev Campbell, Courtney Cox, and Drew Barrymore star in the blockbuster thriller Scream on a special night, Tuesday at 8, 7 Central on Fox. 4 Giants turnovers. They trail by 14 early 4th quarter.
Fox NFL Sunday is brought to you by Porsche, by Dr. Pepper and your local Dr. Pepper bottler. Dr. Pepper, this is the taste. By Domino's Pizza. And by E-Trade, the #1 place to invest online.
Just outside the nation's capital, Redskins, who have lost 2 in a row, looking to get back on the winning track, leading the Giants 20-6. Early fourth quarter. And Collins' pass is caught for a first down by David Patton. Champ Bailey made the stop, a gain of 19.
This is absolutely what the Giants need to get right back into this thing, and Collins has got the arm to do it. If his guys can get open, and Patton does on here, he just runs a post, he breaks to the inside, Collins is going to deliver the ball. If the people around him can make the plays.
Third catch of the year for Patton. Collins intended for the tight end, Pete Mitchell.
Well, that was good coverage on there by Sam Shade, and that really is what forced Collins to throw that ball out in front of him. You know, Pete Mitchell told me before the game, I said, you know, you're an unusually small guy, and I wanted to say that because people always say that to me, or used to say it to me, and he said, yeah, you know, I like to use it. It's a weapon for me because guys see me and they think that I'm too small to be physical, and they think because I'm a tight end, I'm too slow to be fast, but he is fast, and he can play fast on a linebacker and physical on a safety.
2nd and 10 from the 49. Collins dumps it off. Tiki Barber into Redskins territory. Good second effort by Barber, a gain of 11.
Well, Ron Stone is the guy that makes this play work. You know, we talked about Trey Johnson for the Redskins, and a big physical guy getting out there, a guard being able to pull out and make plays on the perimeter blocks. Well, this time it's Ron Stone. And watch him pull out here, and he sets up on this screen pass there, and he gets the block. Here it is right here. He gets the block on the linebacker, and that's what springs Tiki Barber.
First and 10 from the Redskins 41. Amani Toomer in motion. Collins pass caught. It's Patton again. Another Giants first down, a gain of 16.
Well, this is incredible. I mean, Champ Bailey geared himself into playing Amani Toomer. He shut Amani Toomer down. Bad news for the Giants as Patton looks like he pulls up short. But Patton is a different player. He's a speed guy. He's not a big physical guy, but he makes a break. And again, Kerry Collins has a very strong arm, and he's gotten nothing but more accurate as a Giants player under the tutelage of Jim Foster.
Collins 8 of 14 today. And a flag. Champ Bailey made contact with Toomer.
Yep. It's going to be pass interference on Bailey. But I'll tell you what, the Giants line.
Pass interference, 24, defense, first down.
The Giants line on that play just jammed up the blitz. And that's what gave Kerry Collins the time to pump fake the ball. And that forced Bailey to overcommit, and then he went into the hole. Watch it here. Look, see the blitz? But watch the pocket. Collins' time. There's the pump fake. And there was the grab right there by Champ Bailey.
The line of scrimmage, the Redskins 15. Collins faked the toss back and is taken down by Kennard Lang. 5th sack for the Washington Redskins.
We talked about the ability to make a big play. It's one thing to come there and meet the quarterback in the end zone, or in the backfield. It's another thing to miss him. Kennard Lang comes unblocked, but he makes the play.
Lang, who was pulled from the starting lineup this week in favor of Anthony Cook.
Well, Anthony Cook came in last week when Marco Coleman hurt his neck and did a real nice job against the run.
2nd and 16. Collins looking end zone. Sean Bennett makes the catch. No signal. He bobbled it. No catch.
Let's get a replay up quick. Producer Jeff Gowan, so we can take a look at this so the Giants can see it. And if they want to challenge it, they can challenge it. Here it is. Once again, a lot of time for Kerry Collins. Nice blocking. Here's the pass. He's got it up there. And I don't know if we have another look at it. We will try to take another look at it. The ball was trapped on Sean Bennett's shoulder. Well, boy.
And then he lost it.
Yeah. I don't know. I would certainly want to challenge it.
New York Giants have challenged the ruling on the field that it was a touchdown and a completed pass.
The referee, Bill Carollo, must determine when he sees this at regular speed if Bennett had possession long enough when he came down before it popped free.
Yeah, and we'll try to take a look at it at regular speed, too. Great job by our director, Peter Bleckner, and our producer, Jeff Gowan, for getting those replays up right away.
And Jim Fossil immediately signaled for the challenge. And he throws the red flag just in case the buzzer did not work.
Yeah, here's a look at it from real speed, real time. I got to tell you that play is that call is probably going to stand because it has to be conclusive to overturn the play as called on the field. You could make an argument either way for that. You could say, well, he had possession because it was pinned to his shoulder pad. But when you look at it in real time, the ball spins out of there as Bennett spins towards the ground.
The Redskins watching the replays on the Jumbotron screens here at the stadium. Bill Carollo, the referee.
In the meantime, Kenny, I do want people to be able to see the protection that the Giants offensive line did, especially Roman Open on this play here. This time they create an excellent pocket and throwing lane for Kerry Collins.
After reviewing the play, it's been determined that the ruling on the field stands. The player juggled the ball. New York Giants were charged with a timeout.
So Sean Bennett, the rookie fourth-round pick out of Northwestern. That would have been his first NFL touchdown, but instead, the Giants lose a timeout. It will be 3rd and 16.
Well, but the good news for Jim Fossil is Kerry Collins is throwing the ball well. The referee tells us that the Giants will lose a timeout as a result of the challenge not being overturned,
which we already knew. Fossil still chatting with Bill Carollo.
Well, this is one of those ones that is going to be argued about all week long. A beautifully thrown pass by Kerry Collins. Again, I think it's the movement of that ball after he pinned it to his shoulder.
Remember last week, some controversy involving Jim Fossil on a special teams play in the end zone.
But remember that the replay is made for the obvious mistakes.
3rd and 16. Collins lofting one for Toomer, who makes the catch inside the 5. A 17-yard pass play from Collins to Toomer. Toomer's first reception of the game.
Remember when we said earlier that Collins was like a Mercedes in the driveway? Here's your Mercedes. Put it into 5th gear out on the road and let it roll, baby, because this is a beautiful pass. Look at the spiral on that pass. It's perfectly placed. Toomer does a nice job of getting open, but you can't throw the ball any better than that.
1st and goal from the 3, with Greg Camella leading the way. Charles Way takes it inside the 2. He lost it, but was ruled down. Second and goal, Giants, from the 2-yard line. Hilliard in motion. Off the play fake to Barber. Collins to the end zone. Penalty marker. Tiki Barber drew the flag on Mark McMillan.
Pass interference, 21 defense. The foul occurred in the end zone by rule. We'll put the ball at the 1-yard line. Down.
That's Mark McMillan, the nickel cornerback for the Redskins. And here he is right here, and he's over the top of Amani Toomer. That's pretty clearly interference.
Charles Way is in for the touchdown.
Right over Ron Stone. They chose to just pound it in there with the big back running behind the big guard.
Second touchdown of the season for Charles Way. As the Giants march downfield, carry Blanchard for the point after. The Giants have pulled back within a touchdown. Early fourth quarter. It's the Redskins 20, the Giants 13. One-yard touchdown run. Charles Way following the third pass interference call in the end zone in today's game. Kerry Collins 4 for 6, 64 yards on the drive.
And threw the ball incredibly well.
Another short kickoff by Blanchard, played at the 15 by Mitchell. Short kickoffs have been a huge problem ever since the Giants lost Brad D'Aloiso in the Dallas game. 17-yard return. Emmanuel McDaniel made the stop.
Well, Kenny, let's just for the record get the review straight. And I should have known this, that because it was a juggling call, it's not reviewable. And even though they didn't say that it wasn't reviewable because the signal was juggling by the official, there you see that here's the juggling signal right there. That's not a reviewable play. So it wasn't a question of possession when it was a question of possession when he came down, and that is not a reviewable play.
However, you wonder why Carollo went over to the replay monitor. The field judge, we presume, told Carollo that he made the juggling signal, in which case it is not reviewable. And the Giants have gotten that timeout back.
Well, we made a mistake and they made a mistake, but it doesn't matter now. The Giants drove down anyway. Collins made some beautiful passes to get themselves to the 1-yard line. And then a penalty got him actually to the 1-yard line, and they punched it in. Charles Way. Now the Redskins, with just a 7-point lead, need to keep the pressure on.
2nd and 2. Davis on that last carry has set a new career high, 148 yards in today's game, adding 3 more yards to his total before he was tackled by Mike Strahan. And on that run, Stephen Davis has also gone over the 1,000-yard mark for the season, joining Edgerrin James of the Colts, who did so earlier today.
Just a worker. Look at his jersey. Look at the sweat and the grass. And a guy that just is really, I mean, tough and physical. And they're going to keep running. I mean, there's no reason not to.
So a 1,000-yard season for Davis with 6 games remaining. Larry centers. all the way down to the Giants. 39, a gain of 18, and center celebrates.
The Giants defense has played with a lot of pride most of the day today, and now is a critical time. And their offense showed that they have the capacity to go down and score with Kerry Collins. They did their part. They got themselves back into this. And now the defense has to come up with another big play to stop this thing.
8:20 remaining. First down from the Giants 39. Stephen Davis. Davis forced wide. 23 more yards. Jesse Armstead said Davis would not get 100. He might reach 200.
So Corey Raymer, the center, does a nice job here blocking Keith Hamilton. Watch this here. Watch the block on Hamilton by Raymer. He's got to get all the way to the outside. He wheels him right around and opens up that hole. That's great work by Corey Raymer. Raymer is not as big, he's not as fast, he's not as strong, he's not as athletic as Keith Hamilton, but he won that battle.
174 yards for Davis. Skip Hicks gives Davis a breather.
If you look at the time of possession, the Giants defense has been out there 29 minutes and change. The Redskins defense only 22 minutes and change.
And Davis with the most rushing yards in the NFL this season in one game. Corey Dillon had 168 for the Bengals. Hicks down to the 10-yard line.
Well, this series has been just excellent work by the Redskins offensive line. I mean, Stephen Davis had so much yard, ran so far, so fast, so much, they had to replace him with Hicks, and they're still making yards here on the ground. You look at there's a pretty decent hole.
3rd and 4 from the Giants 10. Off the play fake, the pass was tipped. Intended for Larry Centers, and the Redskins will have to settle for yet another field goal attempt in the red zone.
Yeah, and that's Michael Strahan. And again, in the red zone, they need the big play. Watch Strahan come off the end, and he's big and he's athletic. He's got someone on his knees, but he's still able to get up and tip that ball.
Brett Conway 2 for 4. This a 28-yard attempt. Brad Johnson is the holder, and the kick is no good. Wide right. Conway has missed for the 3rd time today. With the man he beat out for the job, Blanchard, watching from the other side. Brett Conway, who had been perfect inside 50 yards. He was 9 for 9 this season. He has missed 2. He's missed from 38 and 27, also from 50 today. So the Redskins lead remains 7. Just over 6 minutes remaining. 3 wide receivers set for the Giants as Collins hands it off. Tiki Barber, big hole, first down and more. To the 36, a gain of 16.
And a lot of this is because Kerry Collins' arm has loosened up this defense. When you start to throw the ball as well as Collins has, and you come out with a spread formation, one back in the backfield, the defense opens up, and then you can take advantage of it with Tiki Barber.
Collins on first down fires into Redskins territory and finds his man. 3rd catch in the game for David Patton, who came in with only 2 on the season.
Excellent quickness by Patton, and another beautiful throw by Kerry Collins. Watch it. Patton just comes up, he breaks in. Great change of direction. Look where that ball's thrown. Placed in perfectly between both coverage men. Safety on the inside, Darrell Green on the outside.
From the 47, Tiki Barber.
Wow. That was a pretty nice hit by Sam Shade.
Under 5 minutes to play, a gain of 4 by Tiki Barber, setting up 2nd and 6 on the 43. Let's listen to the hit by Shade.
Pretty good crunch.
Shade, the Redskins' leading tackler after 4 seasons in Cincinnati. 3 wideouts, 2nd and 6. The pass was tipped. Incomplete, off the fingertips of Patton, who's become Collins' favored receiver here in the second half.
Patton's done a great job separating himself from the coverage, but that time the Redskins came on the blitz and forced Collins to throw that ball too soon. The timing on the blitz was really what made it happen, too.
Third and 6 from the 43. Collins with the pitch, the scoop to Barber, has the first down and more. What a play call by Jim Fossil.
The play call and the block by Charles Way. If you're going to do this, you have to have someone who can throw a block and give you the corner. And Charles Way, watch the corner he gives right here. He gets the block on the linebacker to the inside, and there it is. It's all Tiki Barber needs.
16-yard gain.
Once again, the defense is being spread out and opened up because of Collins' passing ability.
From the 27, Collins had trouble with the snap. The ball is loose. The Redskins have it. Kennard Lang. And that is the 5th Giants turnover.
Jim Fossil told us yesterday that the upside of Kerry Collins is much greater than Kent Graham. But he also said the downside of Kerry Collins is much greater than Kent Graham. We've seen the upside. This time it's the downside.
Following the Kennard Lang fumble recovery in the battle for first place, but mistakes have been the story. 3 missed field goals by Washington, 5 New York Giants turnovers.
Now the Redskins are going to do what they've done all day, or try to do what they've done all day with Stephen Davis, who's getting close to 200 yards. Kerry Collins with his 2nd fumble. Giants, as you said, with 5 turnovers, a lot of mistakes on both sides of the ball today. But you know what? You have to really give Stephen Davis a lot of credit and the Redskins offensive line. They have played very well against a very tough defense today.
Second and 4. Davis looks to cut it back inside. So another huge 3rd down play coming up for the Giants defense. And the Giants stop the clock. They call their first timeout with 3:17 remaining.
Well, Jesse Armstead's guarantee of stopping Stephen Davis certainly did not come true, but Armstead has been active. Look at Stephen Davis's numbers against the Giants. 2 games, 53 carries, 308 yards. Look at that average and 4 TDs. Really, remember he would have had a 5th today, but it was called back because of a holding penalty on Albert Connell.
He had a 50-yard run earlier. Davis, a 4th-round pick back in '96 by the Redskins.
You know, this is huge. This play right here is probably going to be the game. If the Giants can hold, then they're going to have another shot with a good amount of time.
3rd and 3. Off the play fake, Johnson rolling right. And he will not make it. Wrapped up by Corey Widmer, 4 yards shy of the marker. But a late flag. Redskins say personal foul.
You got to have rocks in your head to do something like that. You really do.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, number 43. 15 yards from the end of the run, first down.
What a shame. What a shame for Jim Fossil's defense to rally like this. The coverage is great. There's the play action. The coverage is great. And look at these guys hustling. Percy Ellsworth among them. 4 Giants defenders there. And there it is right there. He just dumps himself down on top of John Jansen. You can't. I mean, that can be the difference not only in a game, but heck, in an entire season. Guys talked all week about how big this game was. And it is. It's huge for both teams. It could determine the outcome of the rest of the year. And you want to play with intensity, you want to play with pride, but in critical times, you also have to play with your brain.
1st and 10 from the 40. Redskins would have punted, but the personal foul called against Ellsworth, keeping this drive alive, and the Giants stop the clock again with 3:03 remaining, using their 2nd timeout.
I'll tell you this, the Redskins offensive line and Stephen Davis better not take a play off now. I know that was a big play and they got the first down, but they don't want to take any chances. Look at this
201 rushing yards.
I mean, that's an incredible effort. Again, I mean, these guys have played so well all season long. Look at this, 5th in the National Football League. And then tonight, the Washington Redskins offensive line has done a marvelous job, and Stephen Davis has done a fantastic job as well. And it's, you know, it's hard work. It's not just big plays, lucky plays. It's just getting down in there in the grass and the mud and battling it out and winning the battle.
But the Giants defense has come up huge in both the red zone and on 3rd downs. The Redskins are only 1 for 10. And they're only 1 for 6 in the red zone in terms of touchdowns. And that is what has kept the Giants in this game. Just over 3 minutes remaining. Johnson in trouble. Gets the pass away. Another first down. The tight end, James Jenkins, makes his first catch of the season. He did not have a reception last year. And Jenkins gains 30 yards on the play. Down to the Giants 13.
Well, Kenny, this play is all Brad Johnson. This is just winning a football game for your team. Look at this here. Armstead's on him immediately. There's pressure all over. He scrambles. He eludes the rush enough to buy the time, and Jenkins is wide open because the Giants were so committed to the blitz on that play and getting immediate pressure on Brad Johnson.
So James Jenkins out of Rutgers in his 9th season makes a huge catch for the Redskins first down with 2:38 remaining.
And you can't belittle a catch like that. He was wide open and Johnson lofted the ball perfectly, but you know, isn't that the kind of catch that, you know, you see a guy drop, you just choke in that situation. So you have to credit Jenkins as well. But really, Brad Johnson's elusiveness there in the pocket and his strength and his ability to hold up under the pressure and the rush and still scan the field is what made it happen. And there you see the 6 possessions and what the Giants defense has done. You know, but some of this too is what the Redskins haven't done. You know, they missed 3 field goals, and they had the fumbled exchange between Brad Johnson and Stephen Davis. So some of that were the Redskins' mistakes, and then some of it too was the Giants' defense.
Giants out of timeouts. From the Giants 13, Davis, penalty marker on the play. Another flag comes out after Davis gains 2. George Williams, number 96, made the tackle. And it is against the Redskins, says Bill Carollo.
Well, Michael Strahan did a lot of talking during the week, and then what happens is when you've got it locked away pretty much, then people start to talk back to you and to give you the what for. And that's what you have to expect. And he is candid, if nothing else. Michael Strahan.
Illegal formation on the offense. That penalty is declined. Holding 76 on the offense. The penalty is accepted. First down.
Well, that's John Jansen, and he was blocking Christian Peter on that play. And there he goes, and he pretty much tackles him from behind there. So Jansen with a tackle today. Although Michael Strahan has made some big plays, he has also not had a sack. He moved them around the line of scrimmage, rushing from the right side, from the left side, and that's a frustrating thing for Michael Strahan, I'm sure. But he certainly has had an impact on this game despite not having a sack.
Penalty forced the Redskins back 10 yards to the 23. Davis stopped by a swarm of Giants on first down. And now the Redskins will be able to take it all the way down to the 2-minute warning. Some more extracurricular activity. So we hit the 2-minute warning in Landover, Maryland. The battle for first place in the NFC East. Brad Johnson and the Redskins leading by a touchdown. This Thursday, start your Thanksgiving day off with a Fox NFL special as the Lions take on the Bears. It all starts with a blockbuster pregame show at 11:30 Eastern, 8:30 a.m. Pacific. Giants without any timeouts. 2nd and 21 for the Redskins, who will run the clock down. Stephen Davis over the 180-yard mark for the game. Great job by our crew today. Producer Jeff Gowan, director Peter Bleckner, our associate director Larry Lancaster, technical producer Kevin McRoby. Thanks as well to Dave Bernstein, Jay Clark, Steve Baldwin, Gene Matthews, Mike Adress crunching the numbers for us today. Barry Hockhauser, Mark Cole, Mike Eldridge, and Eric Norton, and our broadcast associate Robert Slosby.
Well, Robert Slosby, of course, probably better known in the Washington area as the grandson of longtime Redskins fan Eileen Kelly.
Yes.
That's how he is known in this area.
And the pregame show produced by Scott Ackerson, directed by Bob Levy. The senior producer of Fox Sports is Bill Brown, and the executive producers of Fox Sports are Ed Gorin and David Hill. Giants had an opportunity to tie this game, but Kerry Collins could not handle the snap from center Brian Williams. Kennard Lang recovered the fumble, the 5th Giants turnover today. And the Redskins hanging on to their 1-touchdown lead.
Certainly for the Redskins, if there's an MVP or a game ball for this game, it's got to go to Stephen Davis. 32 carries, 179 yards, and a touchdown. What an effort.
Well, coming up next on Fox, King of the Hill observes the joy of holiday travel, followed by The Simpsons, and then it's a tasty feast on Futurama. Then an X-Files guest with a taste for human flesh. An all-new Fox Sunday tonight at 7:30, 6:30 Central. Davis. We welcome those of you who have been watching the Dallas Cowboys and the Arizona Cardinals, as well as the St. Louis Rams and the San Francisco 49ers. Kenny Albert with Tim Green from Landover, Maryland. Battle for first place in the NFC East. Both teams 5-4. Redskins lead the Giants 20-13.
Of course, Giants quarterback Kent Graham struggled early in the game and then had a mild concussion. He was replaced by Kerry Collins, who came in, and along with some valiant defensive efforts by the Giants, pulled them back into this game. They had a shot late, but the Giants have turned the ball over 5 times. Collins himself with 2 fumbles from snap and 1 interception. Graham was responsible for 2 of the other interceptions. So those mistakes are very difficult to overcome, especially in light of the fact that for the Redskins, Stephen Davis ran for 183 yards today.
The Arizona Cardinals beat the Dallas Cowboys 13-9.
And that, of course, gives the Redskins a very clear lead in the NFC East.
By 1 game over the Giants and the Cowboys. Giants will meet Arizona next week, while the Redskins look for revenge against Philadelphia. The Eagles beat Norv Turner's club last week. There are the numbers on Davis, who joined Edgerrin James in the 1,000-yard club today. And now Brett Conway, who has missed 3 field goals, he's 2 for 5, will attempt a 38-yarder. Conway, here's the roars from the sellout crowd as he connects. 3 of 6 today for Conway, and the Redskins have just about wrapped it.
Well, Kenny, you said earlier that no team has gone on to be successful in the postseason with the last ranked defense. And although the Redskins defense is ranked last, they made numerous big plays today.
And this is 2 straight weeks for the Redskins defense, Tim. They've played well last week against Philadelphia. Despite the loss, allowed a season low 236 yards. Today they've allowed only 259.
Right, and they had 5 quarterback sacks and 5 turnovers. So Mike Nolan deserves some credit, and he called a very aggressive game today. He blitzed in critical situations, and his players came up with the big plays on the blitzes. They came up with the turnovers. They came up with the sacks. So it was a nice effort on the part of a very beleaguered defense. And then on the other side of the football, the Redskins offensive line was outstanding against a very tough run defense with the Giants.
Redskins had 2 early sacks. They knocked Giants quarterback Kent Graham out of the game with a concussion, replaced by Kerry Collins. Low kick taken by Greg Camella, a backup fullback, and he brings it out to the 40 with only 16 seconds remaining, and the Giants trailing the Redskins by 10. Players from both sides told us it would be a war. It has been. And as soon as this one becomes official, the Redskins will leap over the Giants into first place at 6-4. Giants will drop to 5-5 into a second-place tie with the Cowboys. Arizona, another victory today, and that has just been announced to the crowd as Arizona defeated the Cowboys. Eagles also lost. They are 3-8. Everybody out for the Giants. Final seconds. Collins to the near side. And it's complete to Ike Hilliard with 10 seconds remaining. A gain of 15.
Kenny, I know this victory is such a relief for Norv Turner, who has been under tremendous pressure this season, where new owner Daniel Snyder has said that without not only a playoff appearance, but a successful playoff appearance, that Norv Turner will lose his job. But he's certainly done a fine job with this Redskins offense, as has, Charlie Castlewood, who put together Brad Johnson and gave the Redskins a lot of picks.
Ike Hilliard. Castlewood, of course, replaced by Vinny Serrano. As time winds down, and the Redskins have won their 3rd in a row over the Giants. They sweep the season series. And Washington, in breaking their 2-game losing streak, has matched their win total of a year ago when they were 6-10. They are now 6-4. We'll return in a moment.